My name is Rabbi Barash. I live in Prague now 14 years. My wife and 6 kids. 5 of the children were born here. And I run the Chabad Center here in Prague, and we have a place on Pražiška Street. And we have another place on Cozy Street. I want to talk about Chasidism today. And I want to ask the question if the Hasidic movement today, with all its different courts, different rabbis, are they true to the teachings of the Baal Shem Tov and the founding fathers of Chasidism, or have they went a little astray? The Baal Shem Tov, of course, Rabbi Baal Shem Tov, was born in 1698. Later became to be known as the founder of the Hasidic movement. The Baal Shem Tov came to accomplish a few things. His purpose of the Baal Shem Tov was, number one, to reach out to the simple Jew. Baal Shem Tov taught that every single Jew has a spark of God, a Jewish soul. We each have a soul, a neshama, and the neshama is the same by every Jew. There's no such thing more Jewish or less Jewish. What happens with Chasidism today, after the Holocaust? Chasidism after the Holocaust is a miracle. Chasidism, the Hasidic movement, suffered tremendously in the Holocaust. The stronghold of Hasidus was in Poland, and of course, together with among the 6 million who were killed, who were murdered, were entire congregations, entire communities that belonged to the Hasidic movement, many Hasidic rabbis, and the Hasidic movement was almost wiped out. It needed to start from scratch, and it did. It started from scratch in America, in Israel. Hasidic rabbis who survived the Holocaust, or some of their followers who survived the Holocaust, came to America without a penny in their pocket, without speaking the language, and America was very strange to Chasidism, or to observant Judaism in those years, in the 1940s, and it seemed that it would have no chance to restart. But nevertheless, Chasidism did restart in America and in Israel, and it was very successful. Today there are beautiful Hasidic communities. 2 weeks ago I was in the Ukraine, I was in Kiev, and I had a day that I was able to take a trip to Mezhibuzh. Mezhibuzh is the resting place of the Baal Shem Tov, and I had some time, and I drove the 3 hours from Kiev to Mezhibuzh, and there were some people there. In winter, it's freezing cold, but at the resting place of the Baal Shem Tov, nevertheless, there were some people. There's even a little synagogue there. And it was late afternoon, and I asked, there was a fellow there with Payas, he was in charge of the synagogue. I asked him if there would be a minyan for mincha. There would be 10 Jews to get together to pray the evening prayer. So he said, no, we're only 6 or 7 people. So I said, well, what do you mean? There's a bus full of people there. I said, no, they're secular. They're secular. So what do you mean? They came in the winter, they came to pray at the Baal Shem Tov, and I was there, and people were praying, and they were crying. There were really people who came and had something to pray for. And what do you mean they're secular? How can one say that, especially standing so close to the resting place of the Baal Shem Tov? But it seems that somehow the great concentration of rebuilding And perhaps even before the war, there was also a concentration of control. There was a threat of haskalah, where it made many of the Hasidic groups to somehow stray slightly from the teachings of the Baal Shem Tov. The outreach, the emphasis on reaching out to a fellow Jew, the emphasis on using everything that God created in a positive way, including, of course, internet, television, radio, whatever it is. If God created it, let's use it in a positive way. Why should we leave the internet? Should have only instructions how to build a bomb, or all the other schmutz which has the internet. Why not use it in a positive way? Chabad.org, askmoses.com, you know. Let's use it in a positive way. And Chabad continues to do that. The best example is how we look at a non-Jew. Judaism teaches that when God gave the Torah at Mount Sinai, the 10 Commandments in the Torah at Mount Sinai to the Jewish people, He also gave 7 mitzvot, 7 commandments, the Noahide commandments to all mankind. He gave 7 Noahide commandments to all mankind. And He also gave the assignment to the Jewish people to be a light for the nations, to spread the awareness of these 7 Noahide laws to all mankind. I remember, I don't know how it is today, but I remember when I was a kid, maybe some 32, 33 years ago, we were writing petitions to the White House because at that time, it started off, I think in a few states, that the schools, the public schools, dropped the moment of silence. It used to be that in the States, public school every morning, kids came into class and there was a moment of silence. The teacher wouldn't say who to pray, what to pray, but there was a moment of silence. And then suddenly, the opposition to the moment of silence became strong. It's got to separate church and state. And a few states first dropped it. I don't know how it is today. And we were writing petitions to the White House to bring back the moment of silence. What business was it for us, the moment of silence? I was going to a Jewish school and we had not a moment of silence, we had an hour and a half of prayer every morning. Who cares about the moment of silence in the public school 133 down the road? But for some reason, you know, it was a moment of silence. It's important there should be a moment of silence. We're proud of our dollar. It says, in God we trust. And every day he's online in the online school for about 3 hours. My girls are also in an online school. And they have a larger class. And there are kids out there who are, most of the children, almost all the children are children of Chabad rabbis and rebbitzins who are out there in places like Prague where where there isn't any proper Jewish school. And they're on an online school. And when we have people coming to visit, he usually sits in the online school in my office. That's why I'm here, otherwise I'll be by the computer. He sits in the online school in my office at the Chabad Center right here on Priska Street. And sometimes if we have visitors or people come, Hasidic people, they pass by the hallway and they look in and they see the kid on the internet now. This kid is on the internet. This kid is online. How is that allowed? How can it be? And when I called him over and I said, look at him. He has his teacher, he sees his teacher. The teacher sees all the kids and they're studying online. They can't believe it. How is that possible? On the internet, they should be studying online. Kids, they can't understand it. So basically, that's what I have to say. I want to finish also. I would like to invite you all. Purim is on Sunday, and we do a Purim party in a place called Duplex on Václavský náměstí. I'm sure you all know where it is.